Hello there. Glad to have you join us on a new episode of Tech Trends as we seek out innovation and creativity that are unique to Africa. On the program this week, we look at the Uninnovators Startups in Residence program by CC Hub and GIZ Make It in Africa project. And I chat with Ruby Igwe, the country managing director of ALX Nigeria, on how we can prepare learners for success in the tech industry. Welcome to the program. I'm Olayemi Odunuga. Millennials' tech and global savvy will make them instrumental in shaping our mobile future worldwide. In an effort to strengthen and accelerate the participation of academic institutions in the emerging innovation ecosystem across Africa, Co-Creation Hub, in partnership with GIZ Make It in Africa, has presented $5,000 each to 6 young startup teams. The young student innovators emerged after making a pitch presentation on their novel tech-smart solutions addressing challenges across healthcare, agriculture, and environmental pollution. They will now benefit from an exchange program in Berlin, Germany, and an innovation summit in Nairobi, Kenya, to help strengthen their prototypes.
What is in his house already?
It's a gathering of innovators, change makers, industry luminaries, and tech enthusiasts from diverse sectors for the Uninnovators Demo and Showcase Day.
Interesting presentation.
The Uninnovators Startups in Residence program by the Co-Creation Hub in partnership with GIZ Make It in Africa is designed to inspire innovation in selected tertiary institutions in Africa. Practice lead for the higher education institutions innovation at CC Hub, Jude Adejuwon, highlights the foundation's vision.
At Co-Creation Hub, we've said over and over again, and you can find this on our documents and our website, we're catalyzing the application of technology and social capital for economic prosperity on the continent.
From over 250 submissions, 30 student-led startups teams were chosen from 6 participating universities in Nigeria, Namibia, and Kenya. Each country produced 6 student teams to advance to the next stage. The program is part of efforts to sustain and accelerate the participation of academia in the innovation ecosystem in Africa. The keynote speaker and Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos urges the young innovators to always strive for global impact.
Just want to say I commend you all. I thank you. And one thing I have learned, and I've been told over and over, and I would like to leave as a charge, is that for those who might not make it through this particular pitch, it is not the end. It is the nature of life. As an academic, my own innovation in those days was to just write a paper that, puts out some new thoughts, new ideas, and you'd be surprised how many times the publisher rejects your papers.
After an intensive 6-week design sprint of capacity-building sessions to improve on their pitches and research-based innovations, the chosen startup teams from the University of Ibadan and the University of Lagos now take turns to pitch their ideas with an assessment from the judges.
Today, we present a solution that promises to empower farmers like Samuel, break the cycle of poverty, and create a food-secure future.
Farmerlink will Farmerlink is electronic health record management platforms that facilitate seamless data access and retrieval at any time and locations, and we secure that patients' data using the blockchain technology, and we use a patient-centric approach where patients can have access to their data, not flying down with their healthcare professionals alone, but they can hone it and seeks to divert you to any healthcare institutions they so need for effective healthcare delivery.
But like every other contest, the winners are announced.
The highest scorer at 23.5 is Smart Billy Rapper.
The reward for hard work is actually more work. like I can see right now. So I think what you should expect from us is, should I say, I don't want to say perfection, but high standards, like quality. Our MVP is basically going to be quality.
Participating in this program has really helped me to refine, because then we were just focused on the carbon capture. The market was not clear, but thanks to the HEI staff, they're able to, redirect us, and it has really enabled us to work on ourselves and come up with, a more viable business model.
It's opened my mind to a lot of things that I didn't know. Even if I've been in the innovative space for quite some time, I learned a lot of new things during these 6 weeks. And also today's demo day, yesterday's dry run, the mock pitches, they've been amazing, because for every single pitch, in front of different audiences, we get new insights and then new recommendations, and we are asked questions that, maybe we have thought of this, and the recommendations that we receive are really, really insightful.
Co-Creation Hub says it remains the heartbeat of Pan-African innovation and will continue to enable African startups thrive in new European markets. 12 more student-run businesses will be chosen from Kenya and Namibia for the Innovators program. Apart from receiving funding and advisory services, these businesses will then have a chance to travel to Germany for hands-on sessions to strengthen their prototypes and engage with top researchers in their fields, as well as present themselves to investors and stakeholders in an effort to highlight the crucial role that higher education institutions play in the continent's larger innovation ecosystem.
A solar-powered food dryer helping some of India's poorest rural farmers cut waste and increase their income has been awarded an Earthshot Prize. Britain's Prince William hosted the award ceremony for the Earthshot Prize in Singapore, which unveils the 5 winners who are developing solutions to environmental problems. The annual Earthshot Prize awards £1 million each to the 5 winners in an effort to help them scale their climate and environmental solutions. The 5 winners for 2023 are Asion and Dima, GRST, Wild Aid Marine Program, S4S Technologies, and Bumitra.
Yeah, you can speak to these guys.
The device, developed by S4S Technologies, needs no electricity and has few moving parts, but can dehydrate food in approximately 1/10 of the time it traditionally takes using the sun.
Our solar conduction dryer can increase the shelf life of the produce by reducing the moisture content, and the fruits and vegetables can be stored for 12 months.
As much as 40% of the perishable food produced in India every year goes to waste. This is according to former Agriculture Minister Sharad Pawar, who blamed crops left to rot in the sun without storage or transportation, or eaten by insects and rats because of the lack of access to storage facilities for the country's poorest smallholder farmers. S4S Technologies wants to tackle the issue with its low-tech solution and financial guarantees by buying back dehydrated produce from its farmers.
S4S is creating impact in 3 ways. First is that we are preventing the food from getting wasted. Second, this is done using the power of sun, using a clean tech technology. Third is that we are empowering rural female farmers, giving them an assured additional income and also making them better decision makers in their families as well as the communities.
A lack of storage also means smallholder farmers are forced to sell fresh crops as soon as they are harvested at what is always the lowest price. The paradox of millions going hungry in India while food goes to waste is receiving increasing amounts of attention as the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization stresses that 1/3 of food produced globally for human consumption is wasted every year. As the World Economic Forum has highlighted, food production is clearly not the main issue, as India needs 225 to 230 million tons of food per year to feed its population, and farm output in 2015 to 2016 hit more than 270 million tons. S4S Technologies says it is now working with 3,000 smallholder farmers or cooperatives at 270 locations, selling their produce directly to some of the world's biggest food producers, including Sodexo, Nestle, and Unilever. Collectively manage the risk from artificial intelligence. This was at a British summit aimed at charting a safe way forward for the rapidly evolving technology.
The key things is that collaboration is essential. Like, you can't have your nationalistic identity working hand in hand. The public sector tends to be more mindful and cognizant, obviously, around the governance structure and what that might look like, whereas the business and the private side tend to be more responsible for the actual building of the lot of technology, as you would expect. But there seems to be a really good open conversation between both sides.
One message that I think we are racing with a competition between companies and countries. So we should agree at the international level that we need to put the bar higher, that companies have to demonstrate in a way that's scientifically sound that their systems are safe before they're built and deployed.
Smaller groups of people basically have gone in to discuss those topics. So the discussion that I was involved in this morning was talking around how do we mitigate the risk of loss of control of AI. This isn't an or. Like, we're not talking about do we make safe AI or do we really grasp the opportunity that AI presents us economically. The answer is we're going to do both. Like, the fastest way that we can benefit from this innovation is by making it really safe. The safer it is, the faster we will adopt it. So I don't see that those two are mutually exclusive.
We start with insight. I think there's a lot of concern among people in the AI field that that the government will sort of jump the gun on rules before knowing what to do. And I think that's unlikely to happen. I think what we're really aiming for here is to establish a framework for insight so that there's at least a third-party referee, an independent referee, that can observe what leading AI companies are doing and at least sound the alarm if they have concerns.
Musk's comments came after Britain published a declaration signed by 28 countries and the EU, which set out a two-pronged agenda focused on identifying AI-related risks of shared concern, building the scientific understanding of them, and building cross-country policies to mitigate them.
In today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, cultivating the qualities of a 21st century digital leader is paramount. These leaders must possess a blend of technical proficiency, adaptability, and a forward-thinking mindset. They need to be adept at navigating the ever-changing technological terrain, making continuous learning a cornerstone of their professional journey. Fostering an environment that encourages experimentation, embraces emerging technologies, and promotes a growth mindset is key. And that's part of what I talk about with Ruby Igwe, the country managing director of ALX Nigeria.
So the first thing, the basics really, is that a digital leader clearly has to have tech skills in some way or some kind of tech interaction. Then we go on to critical thinking skills, soft skills like critical thinking skills, leadership skills, teamwork. And then we go on to soft skills like empathy, communication. And finally, I think some understanding of the civic space wherever it is they find themselves. So here in Nigeria, you can't just be a digital leader and not understand what's going on in the Nigerian public sector, how people are coping, how people are living, what the socioeconomic trends are. That's always a good edge to have as a digital leader.
Now, technology is known for its constant evolution. How can we foster the development of these attributes that you've mentioned?
Okay, so I would like to think about it like painting a building when it gets dusty or cracked. So just adopting a continuous learning culture, almost like a maintenance culture, if you're thinking about it in the hardware type of way. We need to always think about the fact that things are never going to stay the same. There's always going to be constant improvements. And so you have to always get ready to learn and be at the forefront of all of those changes.
In terms of preparing learners for success in the tech industry, there seems to be a need for them to navigate the rapidly changing landscape. Is there a way we can, instill a sense of adaptability and, agility in these learners?
Definitely. So I'm the country general manager for ALX, and at ALX, we're very big on foundations. So teaching our learners to understand the industry that they're walking into, teaching them to adopt skill sets that transcend even their tech skills, teaching them to work with prototypes and solve Africa's grand challenges, so that by the time they're coming in, they haven't just been learning, in a vacuum. They've been learning and they've also been immersed in what's going on. So they have even the skill sets to be agile and adaptable, as well as the context.
Let's talk about tech accelerator programs now. How can we design them to ensure that they are tailored to the specific needs and demands of our digital economy?
That's a really good question, Alami. So thinking about the digital economy, it's just important to listen. It's important to listen to the digital leaders, like we spoke about earlier. It's important to listen to the market as well and say, okay, what is in demand? What is needed? Where are the gaps? And then tailor the programs, all the accelerator programs that exist, either around ventures or around tech training, to make sure that they fill those needs. If not, you're going to be creating things that have no market fit.
And what distinguishes, tech accelerator programs from traditional educational models?
So tech accelerator programs are quicker. So they don't take as long as traditional programs. And then because of what I just mentioned in terms of research and staying cutting edge, they're usually more tailored to what is going on the ground. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a place for traditional programs. They have their place as well.
But of course, we cannot undermine the role of the academia in this. Where do they intersect?
Exactly. So like I was just saying about the accelerator programs having, giving adaptability, agility, quickness, the academia has the luxury of depth. So they have the luxury of being able to sit and spend years and years evaluating and testing and researching. And these are things that are really important in terms of connecting the dots and in terms of understanding how things have evolved. And it's really important to have that knowledge and that wisdom right alongside these accelerator programs. But the accelerator programs usually are designed to make sure that a young leader or a tech trainee gets into the program and comes out job ready.
Right. Over the years, Nigeria has continually gained recognition for its vibrant tech ecosystem. How can organizations leverage this ecosystem to provide additional opportunities or resources for the youth?
One thing that I'm very proud of in terms of the Nigerian ecosystem is that people are usually very willing to share and very willing to help each other move forward. So that is definitely something that organizations can take advantage of in terms of trying to find resources that will benefit youth, and then also soliciting for these opportunities that will help increase the capacity of youth even before they finish some of these accelerator programs.
And can you share insights into specific ways in which Nigeria's innovative ecosystem has contributed to the development of competitive talents?
Definitely. There have been numerous startups that have been created in Nigeria as a result of the ecosystem. But I also want to credit Nigeria's resilience and adaptability and innovativeness as well, because that has also set us apart from many other countries in terms of being able to go the distance, because entrepreneurship is not easy. And maybe because we also have those strong traits and attributes of saying, okay, you know what, no matter if things get tough, we are going to get going as a people. We're able to make things work.
And based on your own experience, in the industry, do you think there's something more that the government should be doing, that they haven't done already?
So I must applaud the government for their work so far in empowering young talents, in making sure that 3 million of them have access to amazing training programs, and partnering with the private sector as well to make sure that they are not creating programs that are tone deaf or that are out of the market, and then also not trying to reinvent the wheel as well. I think that whatever it is that comes out of these programs, because they're just about to begin, it's probably too early to start judging. We'll see how it goes, but I'm very optimistic. I'm very excited. I'm very proud that this is something that we are making a national focus. And I really look forward to even more collaboration between the government and the private sector.
And looking at our own tech space, what specific areas do you think holds the most promise for us?
I don't even know where to start. A lot of areas hold a lot of potential with data analysis, with blockchain, with AI, with cybersecurity. Technology is a big facilitator, a big disruptor, and I think that it is a really good time to try and understand. Don't be shy, don't be afraid, don't be worried, get on an ALX program and just make sure that you are tech ready, because the world is moving swiftly towards a time where if you're not at least techno-fluent in some way, you will definitely not just be missing out, but you will be left out.
Well, there's a lot of talk about innovation hubs and, tech clusters, across the country. How do these initiatives contribute to the growth of the tech ecosystem? And, what role should they play in fostering innovation?
That's a fantastic question. So in a country like Nigeria, and just any country, but let's think about Nigeria, it isn't always easy to find the wherewithal to be able to complete, for example, a 15 or 12-month or 18-month tech program, even a 3-month tech program. Because in order to do that as a young person, 18 to 35, you have to have a laptop, you have to have working internet, you have to have constant light. So the opportunity that this infrastructure, these shared clusters provide, first of all, is those basic necessities. Usually those things exist. And then also the people that are therein doing the programs together, fostering community, fostering collaboration. There are people, for example, at ALX in Lagos, we have 11 hubs, and people have come there and they've been able to set up businesses, they've been able to set up apps, they've been able to think about projects, they've been able to collaborate in many ways, even while they're doing their tech programs. So it jumpstarts their careers in a way, because some of them may not necessarily go on to then look for jobs. They may end up going on to now become employers of labor. And who doesn't love employers of labor?
Oh, I guess we all do. Well, that was such an insightful conversation with you, Ruby Igwe, Country Managing Director of ALX Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us on Tech Trends.
Thank you for having me.
That's all we have for you on our lineup this week. Thank you for staying with us. But as always, Tech Trends is here to share insights, trends, and developments happening in the tech space. If you missed any part of the program, you can always catch up on the channel's TV YouTube accounts where we have all of our episodes. And I encourage you to watch, share, and like your favorite editions. For Tech Trends, I'm Olayemi Odunuga. Bye for now.